Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, March 19th, 2018. Thanks all for joining us live, and thanks for everyone who is watching afterward. Hope you're all having a good day, whatever time of the day it is. Let us get down to business. Friends of Mozilla for this week. Big thanks to tech speakers Yuli, Andrzej, Aka, and Tristika, who gave talks, workshops, and developer audiences in Spain, Poland, Ghana, and Germany. Tech speakers are constantly trotting the globe, spreading the good word about awesome stuff that Mozilla is doing, and we could not do it without them. Thank you very much. I'm going to refresh. All right, upcoming events this week. We got the Homebrew Website Club Meetup. The Rare Tuesday version of this is happening in Baltimore, Maryland at the Digital Harbor Foundation, starting at 6:30 Eastern Daylight Time. You can click the link for more information. And of course, Wednesday, there's also a bunch of Homebrew Website Club Meetup events. This week, I believe it's Nuremberg, Germany, and San Francisco, which is at the Mozilla Commons in the Mozilla San Francisco office. Links with more information, and that starts at 5:30 Pacific Daylight Time, and you can read. It's a great way to hack on your own website with some people and have a conversation with people who are fighting to preserve the web outside of the content silos that increasingly dominate our online lives. So you should click the links and learn more. On Wednesday, we also have the add-on Good First Bugs triage. If you'd like to help us identify bugs in our add-ons products, that would be excellent opportunities for brand new contributors. You can join that meeting, and that's at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time in the ACE video room, and I believe that is a link with more information. On Friday, there's the add-ons show and tell. People make different things in the extensions ecosystem, and they show them off in this little casual, hangout. It's kind of cool. I've been before. It's a nice time, and that is in the afternoons. So no, it's afternoons if you're in London, but otherwise, it is 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And there's links with more info. All right, we have a handful of speakers today, starting with Joe Fish here in Mountain View to give our emerging technologies update. So I'm gonna. Do you have the? Yep.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joe Fish K. I'm Principal Research Scientist in ET. We've got three things to report about today. The first one is some stuff around Rust. We're calling it an epoch year, right? Rust 2018 is going to involve a whole bunch of new changes in Rust. I have a personal fondness for this. I met with Nico Matsakis about 7 or 8 years ago, back when we were still on Castro Street, and I knew him from undergrad. And he said, we're working on this new programming language called Rust. And I said, oh, Nico, you computer scientists, every time you have a new problem, you just want to write a new computer programming language. No one will ever use it. It's a complete waste of time. So I'm really delighted that he didn't listen to me. I think that's the important thing to draw from that. Don't listen to me when I tell you that you shouldn't write another programming language. It's been really successful. One of the things we want to really work on this year is improving ties in with WebAssembly, doing command line stuff, and in particular, helping programmers go from basic knowledge of Rust to really figuring out how to use it effectively. We won the most loved language from Stack Overflow again this year, and it really points towards the relationship people have with Rust. Second thing is some work that my team has been doing. We've been exploring different ways that people consume content on the web. And this ties into some work that obviously Pocket has been doing. As you'd expect, most people have articles they want to read, but something like 70 or 80% of people tell us, yeah, well, I tried to, but I can't quite finish. 75% of the time, people stop reading before they get to the end of an article. We're seeing some slight age differences, and we want to dig into these a little bit more. 18 to 29-year-olds, they just leave the tab open, and they have hundreds and hundreds of tabs open at a time. This is something we've seen in Firefox. 30 to 44-year-olds, and I don't know quite where these age bands come from, but I'm glad not to be in one of the older ones for once. Like, I mean, I've been taking it a bit personally, They leave it open, they bookmark it. 45 to 60-year-olds, we're seeing that's where we see people emailing the URL to themselves, and then once you get above 60, that's where you see bookmarking really come back solidly. So we're tying this into work in Pocket and other sources of content to really explore using voice assistants, which I'm pretty excited about. The third thing I want to talk about is another thing that is in my purview, and that's Mozilla research grants. As you may or may not know, we put out close to 800K worth of research grants last year. And this is about finding people in academia who are doing research which supports what we're doing in the company. I would love everyone who's listening to this to think about someone they know at a university or at a research institute who is doing work that's relevant to them. And then it's great. We'll give them money for you, right? We'll give them money to do work to support you. That's the point of the Mozilla Research Grants. It's a global program. We're happy to support you in all sorts of ways, but I really want to see more and more people across the whole company reaching out to universities, reaching out to research institutes. This is a great way to get more people to do work for you. So I'm happy to answer questions. If you know you've got a problem but you don't know where to go, come ask on the ET Slack channel, and we're pretty good at tying you into different universities. Thanks very much. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you, Joe Fish. And next we're going to kick it up to Portland, where Michael's going to give us the Weekly Minute, which I have some extra graphical stuff prepared for.
Yeah, thanks, Potch. We're starting to go visual this week. And hey, good seeing you, Joe Fish. Joe Fish and I were both part of the ClusterFox onboarding cohort, so ClusterFox represent. Hey, everyone, it's the Weekly Minute. Weekly updates from Mozilla IT on the things that we're doing to support all of Mozilla in our mission to keep the web a global public resource, open and accessible to all. And I just want to remind everybody that this is a mission of people. It's not just a mission of machines. It's a mission of people, mission of hearts and minds. So make sure you're keeping your heart and your mind involved in the work we're doing for the mission. A couple things we got this week from IT. First of all, the event designer for Air Mozilla has simplified. As of last Friday, March 16th, we've consolidated requests for new events for Airmo into one form that's now on the hub in ServiceNow. There's a before and after graphic there showing you before you had to go 2 places, enter a bunch of different stuff. Now we've taken a lot of the things from the old Airmo form and just put those into the hub form, so you have a one-stop shop for that, and it's really easy for us to process, make sure everything gets followed through. So thanks, and please reach out to us if you have any questions about that. And secondly, really important to me this week, this week I want to start regularly thanking individuals and teams who help empower all of Mozillians' work on the mission. I mean, the work we do is really important to, obviously, to the world and to the internet, and it's really good when people get reminded of the great work that they're doing to enable this. And so this week, as I start this out, I'll probably come up with some cool name for this segment, but I want to start out by thanking the IT staff that helps make the Minute a success. You see their pictures and names here. They built out the new tech here in the Portland office, and they produce our meetings on Airmo. And I just want to tell you that PDX, the Portland space, and all of Mozilla really appreciate the work you all do. Thank you, Andy Kokendorfer, Diana Perez, James Dirks, Jason Helmers, Con Nguyen, Mark Richards, and Tony Resendez. Thank you very much for the work you do. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Michael. All right. Thank you for doing the Weekly Minute. Next up, we have Asa with our Firefox updates. Make sure I'm scrolled to the right spot. There we go.
Thank you, Potch. Thank you, everyone. Firefox 59 shipped last Tuesday. It was quickly followed up by a Firefox 59.0.1 to fix a security bug that came out of the annual Pwn2Own hacking contest. We turned that security fix around in about 22 hours from disclosure to releasing a new version to our end users. This, I think, amply demonstrates our commitment to ensuring that our users in the web stay safe. We've got one significant regression in the release that's causing rendering problems for people who have turned off ClearType. So if you have a friend or family member who says, I've opened up Firefox and it's not rendering any web page very well, it could be that they've turned off ClearType. The workaround for this is to turn ClearType back on. It's a great technology. It makes reading on screen much easier, or to disable hardware acceleration while we get a fix out to our users. Firefox 60 is in the beta channel. Our 5th beta is scheduled to ship tomorrow, so it's well underway. In the last week, we uplifted about 15 changes, which is kind of nice. We don't want to see that number go too high because we don't want to take a lot of changes into beta, potentially destabilizing it. At the same time, we do want to make sure that everything that we developed in Nightly gets polished up in beta. Firefox 61 is in the Nightly channel. Over the last week, there have been about 475 fixes. This is pretty common for the first week of Nightly when we open it up for development. A lot of things that were held off from the previous cycle all come landing in. In this week, I'd like to highlight a few performance wins. We have a performance improvement for tab switching by enabling tab warming. This is pretty dramatic. We went from 33 milliseconds to selecting your new tab down to 2.5 milliseconds or something like that. So a dramatic change in performance for tab switching. We got a performance improvement for file handling by getting rid of MIME types RDF. This is probably a 10-year-old bug that will make our file handling across the board faster. And we got a startup performance improvement by caching plugin and plugin block list information. So we don't have to read that at startup. We'll delay a little before we read that. We'll read that from a cache, so we don't have to go read that from a slow format. So great improvements coming into Firefox Nightly. If you're not on the Nightly channel, I encourage you to get there. If you have questions or concerns around Nightly, we've got a Slack channel and an IRC channel. It's Nightly on IRC and Nightly Newbies on Slack. Hope to see you there. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Asa. And lastly but not leastly, we have Christos talking about the Contributing to Open Source survey. Hello, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me and see me?
Sure can. Hi.
Awesome. Thank you. So hi, I'm Christos, live from Berlin, from the Open Innovation team. So in the Open Innovation team, we try to help students contribute to open source through the Open Source Student Network. It's a really recent, it's a new pilot program that we're running focused primarily in the US. And part of that effort, we're trying to better understand more about students, what they need to in order to contribute, and generally come up with a set of recommendations for projects inside Mozilla, but outside Mozilla as well, which will help students get on board to the projects and contribute to open source. So we're launching a set of experiments through the whole year, trying to better identify this set of recommendations and see if there is an intervention that Mozilla can do in order to help the students contribute more into open source. So the idea is the first step is to better understand, all right, where these students drop off. We have the students, we have the projects that they want to contribute to, but somewhere they're getting lost. So we launched a survey generally for the whole world, because we're also interested for better understanding what's going on out there, and which we would like you to share with friends, people who are contributing to open source, with students, generally with people who have at some point, either in the past or right now, they want to contribute to open source. Even if they failed, if they attempted to contribute to open source and they didn't succeed, we want to hear from them. You can find the link into the weekly meeting update. Unfortunately, I couldn't paste a bit.ly link. There is a short link there, but you can copy paste it from there and you can share it with your network. Also in the more details wiki page, you can find a short tweet size message that you can share with your networks. And yeah, thanks for helping.
Thank you very much. All right, hope everyone gets to take that survey who can. And, okay, we do have a new hire who snuck onto our agenda. It looks like it's going to be in San Francisco. So, San Francisco, if you could start heading toward the podium.
Hi, I'm Erica Terry Derrick from the comms team, and this is an overdue introduction of Alice Fleischman, who has worked for us for a number of years with our PR agency based in Berlin, Pioneer, and joined us at the beginning of February as a full-time Mozillian. So please join me in welcoming Alice to the squad. She will be based in Berlin and continuing to support our communications efforts there. Thanks.
Welcome. All right, and I think that is it. Unless I see anyone darting toward a microphone. Okay, and with that, we are all finished for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you have a fantastic week, and you keep on rocking the free web. See ya.